Two-time U.S. Open 9-ball champion. Dynamite, Darren, Appleton.
I came from the mud.
Looks good. Looks good. It is good.
Most important one was winning the World 10-ball championship because it's everyone's dream to be world champion.
Couldn't go into the edge of this.
I'm a grinder, fighter, play with a lot of emotion, a lot of art. Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm very happy to be back myself, and today I've got a really cool drill. I'm going to call it the 9-ball money drill, and let's go into it and what the rules are. But basically you go in rotation, but it's got a little bit of a twist to it. So after you make each lowest ball, you then have to make the 9-ball, and then you respot the 9-ball and then go to the next lowest ball. So I'll make the 1, play shape for the 9, make the 9, and then you got to play shape for the 2, back to the 9, and then to the 3, to the 9, and just keep going back and forth like that. So it's a really good drill, and the purpose of the drill really is that it'll get you used to making the 9-ball, because most amateurs and even a lot of pros, we've all done it, we get a bit edgy when we get to the 9-ball, and it's where we tighten up the most. And usually missing the 9-ball, if you do miss the 9-ball, it basically comes from the last ball to get shape on the 9-ball. So this drill for me is a perfect drill to just get you really zoned in, tuned in, and getting used to playing that money ball more often and more consistently, but also playing shape on the last ball to the 9-ball. That's very important also. So that's what I really like about this drill. So let's give it a go and see how I do. Right, so we start with ball in hand. So you can start with the cue ball anywhere you like. And again, I'm going to play for the 9-ball in the bottom right because I want to keep the cue ball away from these balls here. Remember, you can't touch another ball. So positional play to the 9-ball is very important. So put it where you're comfortable, especially the first shot. It's your free shot really. So here, just a bit of bottom left, maybe like a tipper left. Don't hit the ball too hard and leave a nice angle like this. So here, just play 2 rails out and come out for the 2. You can play with follow with a bit of left, or you can play a little punch run through. We touch your left. And that's just my preferred choice there, just like a soft punch run through. A shot what requires a lot of practice. Because if you play a punch draw there, you probably scratch or very, very close to it. So here I'm going to play with bottom left, where people will be thinking, why bottom left? And I'm going to play 3 rails, 1, 2, 3 rails, where most of you play follow on the cue ball here, but I think you generate a lot more spin playing bottom of the cue ball and just sort of quitting on the shot. So I'm not really going through the cue ball so much. Fractionally caught the rail before the 2-ball there, and that's why I come a little bit short. But it's okay, I can manage this. So here, just low on the cue ball and just kill the cue ball, just like that. So again, it's just that little short stabby stroke. So nicely on the 3, so I want to stay on this side of the table again. And this is a really good pattern drill also, and like I said, because most amateurs, even a lot of us pros, we'll usually break down when we get to our last ball to get to the money ball, on this case the 9-ball, and we end up missing the 9-ball, or like this shot here. I've seen so many people, if this is the ball to get on the 9-ball, I've seen people scratch on this shot so many times, even some pros. So here, just bottom with a touch of left. The key to that shot there, even though I've massively underhit it, is just to make sure you don't get into the cue ball too much. So here, really got to focus on this one. So I'm going to play high on the cue ball with a touch of right. Hit that nicely. And with them shots, when you're coming off the rail, it's very important to stay down on the shot and go through the cue ball. Where this shot here, sort of laying pretty nice, so I can just come across the table here. If I had a little bit less angle, I'd go forward again, 3 rails, but this is probably too much angle to do that. I could do it and go this way like that, but it is just laying perfect where I can play a little punch draw and avoid scratching. I'm not worrying about scratching. Yeah, the angle was perfect there. So this is where the work really starts, in my opinion. So here I'm going to play high on the cue ball. I could draw it with a touch of left, but I think it's laying pretty nice. Just to play high on the cue ball. Could have landed much better than that. And this is the difference between American pool 9-ball rotation games to, let's say, snooker and English 8-ball, is that it's so important to leave an angle on 90% of your shots. So here I can come across and just stay on this side of the table, which is what I'm going to try and do, but it's not a bad option to come, if you feel more comfortable, to put a bigger stroke on the ball and come across twice, because now you haven't got to worry about the 2 and the 4 being in the way. But I want to stay on this side. You could even come underneath the side pocket here, but it's just your personal preference and what type of angle you've got on this purple 5. I'm going to play like a little soft stun really, punch shot. Yep, and played that perfect. And that type of shot there just takes hours and hours and hours of practice and feel the shot. Because if you're not in stroke, they're the shots what really find you out. Really got to feel the shot on those type of shots and trust it. So here be good. So here's more like a little punch. It's like a punch follow. It's like a punch run through shot, this one. So I'm not punching it where I'm just playing middle of the cue ball and hitting it quite hard, because you could bring the scratch into play, but also you'd have to hit the ball really hard to get it, let's say here. So it's like a punch run through. So it's just above the cue ball, and just so that I can maybe hit around here and not leave too much of an angle. Where if I play this follow with left, I'm probably going to come here, which would leave a very tricky shot on the 6 ball. So it's a little punch run through with a touch of left. So a touch of left to me is probably like quarter tip, half a tip, and that's pretty much perfect. Let's have a look. So again here, this is very similar to the shot we played on the purple 5, where it's a little touchy-feely shot, where if I was just to punch this ball with a touch of right, there's a good chance of scratching. So it's like a little punch run through type of feel shot. You've got to sort of just quit on it a little bit, but at the same time commit to the stroke. Yeah, so I just played it with a touch of right, just a touch of right. Didn't massively play it the way I wanted, because now, as you can see, it gets very tough to get to the 7. So I've slightly overhit that ball, but in hindsight I might have been better coming twice across for the 9 ball, and then it'll have been more natural to get shape on the 7. Where now I'm going away from the 7, so I'm going to have to end up leaving a very tough shot on the 7 ball. Yeah, it's got too much angle here on the 9, so it's very, very tricky. But I think I can draw it just enough without having to go to the short rail there. So let's give it a go. Yeah, and to be honest, I couldn't have played that any better. But yeah, I did play the previous shot wrong on the 6 ball. But end of the day, you're not always perfect. Yeah, it's hard to be perfect all the time, but I mean, it's all about recoveries as well, and this is probably the best recovery shot I could have played. I couldn't have hit that any better. So this time I'm going to come across again, but I'm just thinking here, do I need to come here and land here? I mean, that would be the most natural shot, or do I risk just coming short? But I do like coming underneath the side pocket here, just so I can put a bit more of a stroke on the 7. Just like that. Probably overdid it if anything, so maybe it was the wrong shot. And that's a problem really, if you don't hit it perfect way. If I'll have took my medicine and come short, I had more options, so I'll have to take that one on the chin and probably say I played the wrong shot. So yeah, very, very tricky situation now, because you've got to play the 8 ball in this pocket. So yeah, I've just got to try and kill it, and hopefully it's enough. So what I did there is that I killed it with loads, with quite a bit of bottom right. It's hard to explain that shot because a lot of amateurs, they don't really know that shot. But yeah, that's one of the most skilled shots in the game. Right, so I can just make this hold for the 9 in the bottom left. I'll put more of a stroke on and come across. I don't really want to do that. I'm just going to focus on making the 8, sorry, and just try and leave the cue ball for the 9 in the bottom left. And yeah, that one really good as well. And again, the pressure's on now because you've done all that work. The last thing you want to do is miss this 9 ball, and believe me, we've all done it. And there you go. It wasn't textbook, it wasn't perfect, but that's rotation. It's very hard to be perfect all the time, but I'm pretty happy with that. As you could see, there was a few recovery shots in there. You see all different variations of shots, and that's the key to rotation pull. And I think it's a really good drill, a very, very tricky drill, one that requires a lot of focus, and it sort of gets tougher as you're going along. But I think it's one what you really enjoy. But you can see the benefits of the drill. If you do this drill quite often, you'll see a lot of benefits in your game, and you'll get used to making that money ball more frequently and more consistently. And you'll see different little options you have in certain situations, like I did there. I had quite a few options. I think once or twice I played the wrong shot, but I managed to recover, and that's what it's all about. Don't punish yourself too much when you don't play the right shape or you play the wrong shot. There's always ways to recover, and that's the game. Anyway, I hope you like it. I think it's a really good drill. Give it a go. Even send me your videos. You can send me your videos, or if you got drills, what you think I would like, just send them to us at Dynamite Billiards, dynamitebilliards.com, dynamitebilliards@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at them and try and respond to them as much as I can. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.